I believe in Joe Hendry. What up, MGM? What up, Billy? What up, Super Sane? What's up? What up, Bishop? Let's get right to it, man. We got no time to waste. By the way, we are just 2 subscribers away from reaching 12,600. So thank you guys so much for always tuning in, sticking around, and hyping up the channel. Let's go. What up, Straight Edge? Let's get MGM in here. I want to get MGM in here. We did it last time. Let's do it again, MGM. If you're not too busy, that is. Let's see if MGM is answering the call of duty. Is he going to answer or not? So yeah, guys, we have a couple things I wanna discuss here. I obviously want to talk about the draft that's going down tonight on Raw. The draft is going to be pretty big because all the top remaining stars are still on that list. You can't. Got you. No problem, Salah. I mean, no problem, MGM. So let me pull up the list that we used last time and kind of go over the superstars that are left. On top of that, I also want to discuss the Def Rebel situation. I don't know if you guys heard about the Def Rebel situation. Basically, a lot of people complaining and talking about them losing their jobs and possibly even getting fired and let go. They don't like their music and what they've done. And look, I'm very critical of theme songs. I'm very big into like wrestlers having good theme songs. I mean, who isn't? It's part of the performance. But for me to sit here and act like what Def Rebel has done is complete garbage, it would be a lie. I don't think that Def Rebel has done as bad as people make it seem. Everyone's acting like Jim Johnston never put out a bad record. They're acting like Jim Johnston is invisible. I mean, invisible. I meant to say invincible. But yeah, people are just acting a fool right now, and I'm just like, all right, we gotta get it together, folks, because what I think the issue is that WWE wants to fully own the rights and they don't want to share the royalties. They want full ownership on the stuff they put out. So that automatically creates a massive issue with them doing any kind of collaboration. Alright? That's the thing. I feel like ultimately when you're looking at the Def Rebel stuff, you gotta realize that they have put out several good tracks. I mean, majority of them for the most part are good. I mean, we're talking about Bobby Lashley, we're talking about Tony D'Angelo, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. they are what I think bangers. CFOs used to get bashed just as much as Def Rebel. Baron Corbin's song is good too, yeah. CFO got bashed just as much as Def Rebel because everyone that came after Jim Johnston got bashed pretty much because they weren't Jim Johnston, and a lot of people hold that against WWE for letting go of Jim Johnston. A lot of people are upset. Roman isn't in the draft. No, he's not in the draft. But he is with WWE, of course. Alright, so I got the list right here for y'all. This is the draft pool that's available for tonight. So we have DIY, Apollo Crews, Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, CM Punk, the Creed Brothers, Damage Control, Drew McIntyre, Final Testament, Vinci, Imperium, including Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, because Vinci's not with them anymore, Jade Cargill, Judgment Day, which includes Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough, Hayden Carter, and Katana Chance. And then we got Kevin Owens, Legado del Fantasma, which has Santos Escobar, Angel, Berto, and Elektra Lopez. LWO has Rey Mysterio, Carlito. Hold on, let me put this up. LWO has Rey Mysterio, Carlito, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, and Selena Vega. Then you got Naomi, You Catch Republic, which is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. You got New Day, which is Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Odyssey Jones, we haven't seen him in forever. Pretty Deadly, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tegan Knox, The Pride, which is Bobby Lashley, Street Profits, and B-Fab. And then Tiffany Stratton with whatever superstar gets called up from NXT. So yeah, I know Carlito's not an LWO, but they still have him listed there, so we got to see how he ends up getting drafted tonight, however they go about that. So it's a very long list of superstars that remain available, especially when you consider the fact that you're looking at a lot of, factions and tag teams. These factions and tag teams are pretty much the majority of what's left in the draft. One thing that I didn't like about Friday Night SmackDown, though, was that we didn't get that many superstar swaps, right? Because we saw that our champions are untouchable, excluding the women tag title, the women tag champs. But we saw that champions weren't going to get moved. And then on top of that, a lot of superstars got kind of redrafted to their own brand. We did see a couple changes, though. Let me see. Where's it at? So one of the more notable changes was Kiana James got called up to Monday Night Raw from NXT. We saw Braun Breaker move to Raw. We saw Andrade move to SmackDown. But that was about it. Baron Corbin did get drafted to SmackDown, which I was very surprised. Frogs, welcome to the channel. I was very surprised to see Baron Corbin, because Baron Corbin could have continued his storyline with Braun Breaker, since they never really had the fallout that I thought it was going to lead to. Thank you for the 2, Super Saiyan. So outside of those few that I mentioned for SmackDown and Raw, we didn't really see that many shift around. I was a little shocked by that. Maybe we see a lot more moves today, considering the fact that SmackDown was so lackluster with the moves. So we are officially 1 subscriber away. Thanks to Frogs, we're 1 subscriber away from 12,600. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm looking at the list here. I personally think let's pull it up for you guys to see it as well. I see more changes happening today. So that's what we're here to predict. We're here to kind of go over the list of superstars that are available. We're here to talk about Def Rebel a little bit, kind of touch base on them early on. And we'll circle back to that conversation once we're done, kind of guessing where each superstar will go. What up, Jake? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the list and ultimately pick and choose what brand I would put them on. It's not going to necessarily be based on, you know, a certain order or what already happened. For the sake of just changing things, I'm going to just ultimately put the superstar where I think they belong. So Apollo Crews deserves to go to NXT again and do something there. I don't know why he's in the draft pool. I hope that NXT gets to draft. What up, Omar? I hope they officially put him back in NXT so he does something with them, because he did a couple things with them in NXT before, but he just hasn't done anything at all, man. And he is such a good talent. What up, Keon? How's it going? So let's start with the top. DIY. I would like for them to get a new scenery. I would like for them to go to SmackDown personally. But it's going to depend on where we see Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell go, honestly. It's going to come down to that. But if that's the case, I'm putting Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae on SmackDown with DIY. And then Apollo Crews, I don't know if he could get called down, but I'm just going to put him in NXT because that's where I think he belongs. Braun Strowman to SmackDown would be dope. Bronson Reed should remain on Raw. Feel like if he goes to SmackDown, he'll get hidden behind like LA Knight. So far we have a couple already that I've listed here. You see DIY SmackDown, Apollo Crews NXT, Braun Strowman SmackDown, Bronson Reed Raw, and I gotta select a few people for Raw and SmackDown. I'm gonna continue to add more Raw than SmackDown because that's how they're doing it in real life. So I think that ultimately you gotta keep Chelsea Green and Piper Niven on Raw. I think the Creed brothers stay on Raw, especially with the fact that Chad Gable stayed on there, because there has to be some sort of tie-in in the future. You know, we already moved DIY to SmackDown. CM Punk, that's an interesting one. I'm going to have to say probably stay on Monday Night Raw, especially since SmackDown kept Randy Orton. I know I said that I wasn't going to do this, but with SmackDown keeping Randy Orton, LA Knight, you know, adding Baron Corbin, they still got AJ Styles. They kept the bloodline. I think CM Punk stays on Raw ultimately. That's just the vibe that I'm getting right now. I think Damage Control, like you guys just said in the chat, yeah, I think they go to Monday Night Raw. That would be good to get them away from Jade and Bianca. I think Drew McIntyre stays on Raw. Raw desperately needs him. I think the Final Testament gets drafted to SmackDown. I mean, to NXT, sorry. Just because they are teasing their involvement with NXT. And I think that would be a phenomenal pick for NXT. Having Karrion Kross in NXT would just be beautiful, in my opinion, for him. Giovanni Vinci should go back to NXT if he's not with Imperium. He's going to get lost on the main roster, so I would put him to go back to NXT. Imperium. So Ludwig and Kaiser, as much as I love them on Raw, we're giving Raw a lot of superstars so far. Let's take them to SmackDown just to switch things up, right? Let's switch things up and give Gunther a new landscape to conquer, along with Ludwig. And then you got Jade Cargill. I think she gets drafted to SmackDown. I think Judgment Day stays on Raw because they already have the bloodline on SmackDown. And so far, what you see here is Raw getting a good chunk of superstars that were already there, and also adding, some new ones like Damage Control. And ultimately, it just is what it is. It's the nature of how the draft started on Friday. The draft on Friday, for whatever reason, we saw a lot of superstars remain within their brand. Now, one thing that we haven't taken into consideration is that we are going to get a couple more call-ups. And within those call-ups, I think we're going to see Ilya Dragunov, right? Since he lost the belt, there's nothing else for him to do. We're going to put Ilya Dragunov. And I think Ilya is going to go wherever Gunther goes. So we'll put Ilya Dragunov. And he's going to SmackDown. That's what I think. I think Ilya goes to SmackDown. Lyra Valkyria is definitely going to get called up. You're right about that. Straight Edge. And I think Lyra is going to go to the Monday Night Raw roster, especially with all the injuries we've had in the women's division. Valkyria. I think that's how you spell it. So I think Lyra will go to Raw. All right, so let's go back to Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. I think we flip-flop them and send them to SmackDown. I think that would be good for them to go to SmackDown. What up, Jason? So putting Kaden Carter on SmackDown, I think, would probably be a wise choice. There we go. So I think putting Kaden Carter on SmackDown would be a wise choice. Kevin Owens, man, I think we're just going to have to keep him on SmackDown, honestly. Not because of the storyline he has going on right now, but I just think that's just what it is. Keep him on SmackDown. I think Tony D'Angelo might get called up, in your opinion. That would be a great idea. I would put him on Raw. So you got to kind of separate Legado del Fantasma and LWO, man. I think that story needs to just kind of go its separate ways. We're going to remove Carlito from LWO from this list. I think Carlito should go to Raw. So let's add Carlito back to the top here. I think Carlito going to Raw would be what's best for business. You give him some good screen time there. But they just broke up, so if you put LWO on Raw, I think you gotta. I mean, if you put Carlito on Raw, you gotta put LWO there as one. Then Legado, I would keep Legado on SmackDown, right? At that point, Dijak could get called up. Ah, man, Dijak getting called up, I think he might get lost in the shuffle, but it would be good to like inject the mid-card division a little bit. Injecting the mid-card division would be great. Naomi, I think Naomi, she's with Jimmy, so I think she stays on SmackDown. Natalia, man, I would love, this is just me being hopeful. This is not me being realistic. I think Natalia is either going to stay on Raw or SmackDown, but I would seriously draft her to NXT. That's just my point of view. I think there's so many superstars tonight, and you want to see some of them go to NXT. So New Catch Republic, Breath of Fresh Air, probably throw them to Raw. Throw New Day to SmackDown. Odyssey Jones, send him back to NXT. Again, this is unrealistic because I don't think they'll go back to NXT or down to NXT in the draft. I think the draft is literally just Raw and SmackDown and superstars getting called up. But I'm just wishful thinking if this was a full-blown draft for everyone, you know, to get involved in some capacity. So pretty deadly, man. You know, they've already done whatever they were gonna do on SmackDown, so I would probably switch them up, put him on Raw. Shinsuke should go to SmackDown. I think his time on Raw has been up. Tegan Nox, I'm gonna throw her down to NXT. She's not really doing anything. They need to kind of build her back up. The Pride, you could put them on SmackDown, keep them on SmackDown, but I think that they should go to Raw to get more screen time. You know, the Bloodline is on SmackDown and all that. I think the Pride being on Raw would be great to go up against Judgment Day and stuff. So, and then Tiffany Stratton, you keep her on SmackDown. So you guys, Tony D'Angelo. If I had to pick where would Tony D'Angelo go, considering what I see here with the draft, I would probably put Tony D'Angelo on SmackDown. I just put Tony D'Angelo and the fam. Tony D'Angelo on SmackDown would work wonders, I feel. I don't know. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't see NXT really getting involved and drafting downward, because that's kind of how it would feel. But Final Testament in NXT would just be the perfect match right now. Giovanni Vinci in NXT, perfect match. Better than having him on the main roster and not doing anything. Natalya, I think her in NXT would cook. I mean, she already has a match versus Lola Vice, right? I just feel like, looking at this from a sports standpoint and from a TV show standpoint, some of these superstars that kind of got lost in the shuffle, going down to NXT would do them some good. Odyssey Jones, Tegan Nox being two of the ones that I'm really considering on this list. At the end of the day, it's not a call down, because they need some superstars that are known with the move to CW. Keep that in mind. If you guys can be so kind and go ahead and like up the stream for your boy Lex Rooney, you got to hit the three little tabs here, the three little circles, and then hit the thumbs up down here. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around while we're here talking about the WWE draft, which we will be doing a live watch along. We're going to be watching the WWE draft tonight on Raw, and while watching Raw, I'm going to be also watching the Heat game. That's why I wanted to come on here before Monday Night Raw and kind of set my predictions, because during the watch along, we're going to kind of figure out what was right and what was wrong. So tonight, that stream will be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be getting off here in about, 40 minutes or so to have some dinner and get ready for Monday Night Raw and the NBA playoffs, which I'll be watching along with some NHL as well, because my teams are playing tonight. So a lot going on, and a lot of good happening within WWE. And that kind of brings us to the conversation of Def Rebel. Def Rebel has been bashed and trashed all over the internet. I read at comicbook.com, which they tagged Fightful Select, reporting that Def Rebel's contract expires later this year, and one of the original Def Rebel members is no longer working with them, which could be good for business considering how disappointed people are with them. In my opinion, Def Rebel is not as bad as people claim. Honestly, you know, let's look at the list here. I'm gonna pull up the some of the more notable songs. All right, because I put it on Discord earlier, so I have a nice list here. All right, so here it is. I got the list pulled up. Look, guys, at the end of the day, man, I feel like people are just not giving Def Rebel a chance because they preferred what CFO did or what Jim Johnston did. And it's funny because when CFO started and when they were doing their theme songs, people were coming after them as well because they weren't Jim Johnston. I come from the Jim Johnston era. I love a lot of the themes that he put together, but not every single track he put together was a hit. Wrestlers changed theme songs. Some of them didn't match. A lot of them were great. A lot of them are now considered iconic. So I get it. I get the vibe. I understand where people are coming from saying, all right, we need to get rid of Def Rebel, switch it up. They're putting out voiceover theme songs that are generic and bland. But I'm here to say this. I think that the real issue is WWE and wanting to fully own each theme song and not share as many royalties as they probably would need to had they gone out of their way to get a group like Imagine Dragons or any of the other notable artists that you guys want them to work with. Jim Johnston had the freedom to partner up and pair himself with other artists which collaborated with him on spectacular theme songs. And I think that if you give Def Rebel that opportunity now in 2024 and going forward, it could be beneficial for both parties. It would freshen up the itinerary and it could ultimately expand the library for more than just theme songs. Now, they do currently have the Monday Night Raw theme song, which I think is good. I enjoy the theme song from Monday Night Raw. But other notable tracks that Def Rebel worked on, I have here, it's the Bronson Reed battle-tested one, Ready for War. I'm ready for war. I like it. I like it. I enjoy it. It reminds me of Godzilla. It really puts me in the mood for Bronson Reed, and it's the perfect match. Now, I'm not a big fan of Austin Theory's theme song. I'm not a big fan of what they did to Tiffany Stratton or Braun Breaker. I get it. They messed up. They have songs that are indeed bad and don't really match and feel kind of garbage. But when I'm looking at this list, I mean, they also did the Legado del Fantasma one. Really like that one. I like the Carmelo one, Mellow Don't Miss. That one is fire. The Logan Paul Take Flight one, at first, I didn't really like it. But once the song builds up and it does the dun, 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 like I hear it in my head. I know. I can't play it. I don't want to get copyrighted. But point is, the Take Flight Logan Paul one is not as bad as I thought when it first came out. The Braun Strowman one, I like it. It's very loud. It's very like just a monster amongst men, which is his gimmick. And it gels well with him. So I don't have a problem with the Braun Strowman one. When you hear his theme song, it's kind of like Jaws' theme. Not as iconic, but definitely as alarming. You hear Braun Strowman's theme and you know you got to get out of his way. But then you got the Io Sky Tokyo Shock theme song. I love that one, man. You know, I love the beat and the drop and all that. The Trick Williams one, Locked In. That theme song, we all know how the crowd reacts to that. I know the crowd made that song what it is today. I get it. The reaction puts it up a notch, but it's the flow of the beat as well that you got to give credit to. You also got Prepare to Fight, which is for Gunther. You know, like, I like it. I like it a lot. You got the Pat McAfee one called The Anomaly. That one's Then you got the Almighty one. I like the Almighty one. LA Knight. You don't like the LA? All right, I'm not gonna do it. But the LA Knight one is pretty darn good. It goes perfect. You got the Seth Rollins Visionary one. I think that one is everybody does it. Come on, yo. And that's one thing that I could say about each theme song. It's more inclusive for the fans, I feel. For the fans to go along with them. And, people complain that it didn't have, like, any wrestler voiceovers. Now just about every song has that. And that leads me into the Jey Uso, the main event Jey Uso theme song. It's just me, just me. I love that, man. I love that. And then you got the Solo Sikoa one, which I like it too. The Jimmy Uso is dope as well. The Roman Reigns one, the Tribal Chief one. Come on now. That's epic. And then if you want to talk NXT, the Tony D'Angelo one, I know I've talked about that several times, but I love the Tony D'Angelo family one. It's very Godfather-like. And how about the Hands of Fate, which is for Obafemi? That one's really, really good. And then they remixed Jade Cargill's original theme with kind of their own take on it. But I like it. I like it a lot. And to sit here with a straight face and tell you guys, yeah, they need to fire Def Rebel because they are trash, because they put out garbage, because we don't know the difference between such... If you watch the show and you pay attention, right, you're going to know the theme songs after a week or so. Just pay attention to some of the theme songs and you're going to realize that a lot of them go with the character that it got paired with. Now, I get it. Jim Johnson, man, The Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, the list goes on and on and on. But you're right, leader. Final Testament has a good one. AJ Styles' new theme song, I think, is pretty good. AJ Styles likes it. He enjoys it. So, I'm looking at these themes and I'm like, damn, Def Rebel's getting all this hate. And I know I'm in the minority because I see the posts, I see the articles. I mean, you got Comic Book, Fightful, everyone's talking and reporting how WWE is aware that people want them gone and they're unhappy with the music. And when you hear those boos, it could cost someone their career. Now, I know Def Rebel has also been in hot water because of what one of the members did. I think he got let go already, if I'm not mistaken. I know that the same team is that made Def Rebel is not the same team that's available right now working with WWE. So, again, it comes down to contracts, copyrights, and what WWE is trying to do here. They're trying to own the music. They're trying to work hand in hand with these creators. CFOs was let go, not because WWE didn't want them and they wanted to switch them. They were let go because the people that manage CFO blocked WWE getting CFO and taking them under their wing. Based on the reports that I read, WWE wasn't able to lock in CFO after they were trying to renew their contract, and they ultimately had to go out and find someone else, which then came Def Rebel. Truth of the matter is this: Jim Johnson had a unique take and a unique vision for theme songs. He is the greatest of all time when it comes to putting together wrestler theme songs. Make no mistake about it, I am all on board with Jim Johnson. Truth of the matter is that Jim Johnson is just too old right now. They're not going to bring him back. I think he's retired. He even admitted that when WWE let him go, it hurt him and made him feel bad. But he was pretty much getting ready to hang it up. Yeah, exactly, Straight Edge. I do like Lexx King's theme song. I enjoy a lot of the NXT Superstar themes for the most part. Not everyone has a banger. Come on, how many musicians out there that you guys watch and follow? How many of them do you actually sit there and listen to 100 out of 100? You just don't. You really don't listen to all their theme songs. So that's just my point of view. We're going to be watching the Monday Night Raw draft and reacting to it here. I just can't wait to talk about what the aftermath brings from the actual draft. What's going to happen going forward with the superstars that stayed in their show or got switched. Downstate is amazing. They need to work with more musicians. That's what it comes down to. WWE wanting to partner with musicians outside of pay-per-view theme songs. That's what they got to do. Bring in, musical artists that are willing to collaborate with Def Rebel, and we get some bangers out of that ultimately switch up the vibe. That's all people are. I think that's what I read it as. That's what I think people want. They want a change with the direction of the current standard theme song within WWE. How do you do that? By collaborating with outside sources and bringing in some fresh voices, not just wrestler voiceovers, which is hilarious because, again, guys, so many people trashed and bashed that WWE was doing the wrestlers a disservice by giving them these generic cell phone ringtone theme songs and not allowing them to express themselves in the song. Now that Def Rebel have added voiceovers, people are now saying that it's rinse and repeat, catchphrase and then random theme song. And I'm like, what do you guys want them to do? So hit me up in the comments. How do you guys feel about this situation with Def Rebel and WWE ownership trying to keep the music under their own personal label versus paying royalties and not owning the rights to these theme songs? Motionless and wait, what? Down, say Alter Bridge, Living Color, etc. Yeah. And a lot of those were what? Leader, those were all groups that they partnered with. They named an indie show after him. That's cool. I like Elias. But even when Downstate did theme songs for them, it wasn't that they were doing the theme songs for everyone, is that they were collaborating. That's what WWE is missing. More collaboration, more unison and outside sources. I don't think it's the fact that Def Rebel's not talented or that Def Rebel sucks. Yeah, a lot of people like Drew McIntyre's old theme song, and I'm one of them. When he came out with the new one and then he switched to this one, it took me a little bit of time to get used to it. But I like his new theme song. Wale, I think Wale did it. And remember, the 3-6 Mafia did Mark Henry's. So we've had collaborations before. Like, this is nothing new. And that's what I'm talking about. Some of the best theme songs have happened when we see superstars collaborate with the artist and the producer that WWE has signed, whether it's Jim Johnston, CFO, or Def Rebel. That's what's missing, guys. It's not anything else. But so for those of you that don't know, we are going to be watching Monday Night Raw tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be reacting live and reviewing the draft as it's happening in real time. Remember, the draft is going down tonight. It's the last part of the draft, and we're going to be ultimately checking it out in real time. And for those that play WWE 2K24, this is for you. We have an awesome online league that you can join through Discord. It's absolutely free. All you need to do is have a Discord account, play on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series, and once you join the community, you scroll down to the LWF tab and you could read the rules and regulation. So for those of you that are not aware, now you are. Check it out. LWF. It's awesome. We do the shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we're going to be doing a new draft for Season 3, which starts the week after the DLC comes out, or the weekend after the DLC comes out. Funny Funny Kurt Angle theme was Patriots theme first. That's funny. We need a wrestling game to compete with WWE 2K. No, we don't. Can you play WWE 2K24 if you buy a game account on the GeForce Now? Lil Z, I wish I could answer that question. I'm pretty sure the GeForce account is a storefront for games. So maybe if it's linked to a game account digitally, but I wouldn't risk it, man. How much is it that you're paying for it? Shout out to all the new subscribers. We just crossed 12,600. We're at 12,601. Thank you so much. And now the journey continues to 12,700. Super Saiyan, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Stop spamming. Stop writing the same thing. Stop begging. The more you beg, the more you're gonna get ignored. You keep writing the same thing. You keep acting like you're gonna donate 500, 600. You keep saying that I'm not even reading your donation. You sent the $2. I did read it. I did acknowledge it. I thanked you for it. Stop spamming. There's no spamming allowed. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna waste my time right now. The TNA Impact game was good for when it came out. It was fun. It was enjoyable, but it was compared and bashed by fans that expected it to compete and go up against 2K. I think the TNA Impact game was fun for what it was, and I'll leave it at that. Glad 2K and Status worked something out. Yeah, we should talk about that, actually. Good point, Straight Edge. So, if you guys did not know, what's the status? Very popular content creator in the WWE 2K community. He is also known to be a modder. He had gotten banned for, modding the game and breaking the terms and condition. So, the community, including myself and a lot of us here, we were bothered by the fact that they were stopping someone who's so devoted to the game from doing what he is so passionate about, and we didn't get a reason why. They finally released a statement as to why they banned him. It was obviously the intergender stuff, but more the focus was them saying that they had to ban him because of the fact that some of the mods that he did was causing issues and game breaking issues at that. That's not good. When you have people contacting 2K support and emailing them and blaming the glitches within the game because of a mod that could have caused it, that's a problem. What up, Hamburger? How's it going? What up, VJ? Tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You guys, again, don't miss out. We're going to be talking about the draft. We're going to be watching Monday Night Raw. I'm going to be watching the NBA playoffs and the freaking NHL playoffs. I'm going to be talking about my local sports team that I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to be obviously tuned in to the draft for Monday Night Raw, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go over that list of superstars that are going to be available and the ones that I finally picked to get swapped and stay on their respective brand. I didn't answer you until now because you keep begging, dude. You keep writing that. When have I ever invited someone who's begged me to join a call? Never. Raw's going to be good, I think. They should bring back that song from 2K19. Blow my mind. Blow my mind. I'll join the watch party when I get home. Sounds good. Blow my mind. All right. So, here's the list. Let's start at the top. This is the draft pool that's available tonight. All right, so you saw that on Friday we had a few people that were available. Now tonight we have even more. DIY, I predict, will go to SmackDown. Apollo Crews, I think, should stay or go back to NXT, in my opinion. Braun Strowman should go to SmackDown. Bronson Reed should stay on Raw. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell should go to SmackDown since DIY are going back. Carlito separated from LWO. I would say that he would benefit from going to Monday Night Raw. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven should stay on Monday Night Raw. I think they're very good, and you know they're so entertaining. And for the women's division, I think you need Chelsea Green on Monday Night Raw to give her some airtime. If you put her on the 2-hour show on SmackDown, you won't see her as much. CM Punk should stay on Raw. The Creed brothers should stay on Raw. Damage Control should go to Raw, in my opinion. Take them away from Jade and Bianca. Drew McIntyre should stay on Raw to do the CM Punk stuff. And Drew McIntyre has just been on a tear. Let's call it what it is. Final Testament. As much as I love Karrion Kross, as much as I love AOP, I think that we should put Karrion Kross in NXT to dominate and build up the Final Testament and ultimately trade him later down the line. But putting him in NXT right now would be amazing. Giovanni Vinci, I don't know if there's much story to tell other than the fact that they eliminated him from the group. So putting him in NXT so he could do his own thing would probably be best for him to not get fired. Because let's face it, if Giovanni Vinci stays on the main roster, he ain't going to do much. And they'll probably end up letting him go. And I like him. I think Giovanni Vinci is good. Imperium should go to SmackDown. Gunther should ultimately, go for that U.S. title if he's not going to go for a main belt. I know the world title is probably the perfect belt for him to go for, but just a change of scenery, I feel, would be so good for Gunther. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with Gunther. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm more than likely wrong. Let's be honest. Ilya Dragunov should go wherever Gunther goes. If Gunther goes to SmackDown, Ilya should go to SmackDown. If Gunther stays on Raw, Ilya should go to Raw, because that should be one of their first feuds. Jade Cargill, I think she should stay on SmackDown. I think she's great on there. Judgment Day should stay on Raw to continue the storyline they got with Damian Priest and whatever's going to come from that. Hayden Carter and Katana Chance should get traded to SmackDown. Kevin Owens should stay on SmackDown. Legado del Fantasma should stay on SmackDown, and you split them up because LWO needs to get away from that. LWO should go to Raw, and Raw, having Rey Mysterio back would be awesome, I think. Lyra Valkyria should get called up to Raw. The Raw women's division, needs some help with all the injuries. Naomi should stay on SmackDown. Natalya should go to NXT. I know she's not. I said it earlier, but I think that would be beneficial for her. New Catch Republic should go to Raw. New Day should go to SmackDown. Odyssey Jones should go back to NXT. Pretty Deadly should go to Raw. Shinsuke should go to SmackDown. Tegan Nox should go to NXT. The Pride should go to Raw. Tiffany Stratton to SmackDown. And then Tony D'Angelo should get called up. Odyssey who exactly? I don't even know where he's been. I haven't even seen or heard from him. LA Knight, Jade, and Bianca would put in NXT. Well, Bianca already got drafted. Bianca's staying on SmackDown. Which I just realized Bianca's going to be with Montez Ford. I think that the Pride is going to stay on SmackDown now that I just said that. Wonder what legends they get tonight. Oh, yeah, because we did see a couple legends on SmackDown. Good observation. I'm interested to see what they do with the legends tonight as well. Some cool presenters. All right, let's see where we're at with the subscriber count. Now the goal is 12,700. We're at 12,602. If you guys love wrestling, love talking about AEW, WWE, TNA, and the shows that go on along with the games as well, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on another awesome stream. And follow me across the socials. Let me put it in. You could join our Discord community, which is amazing. You could follow me on TikTok. You could follow me on Twitter. Add me on Xbox. Add me on PlayStation. There you go. I put everything in the chat box for y'all to follow. And the likes. We need some more likes. We only got 15 likes. Hit the 3 little dots right here, please. The 3 little dots right here. They have it hidden. Then you got the like button pops up right here in the middle. That would be amazing if you guys can crush the likes for your boy LexxOverse. So we got about 10 minutes here to wrap up the pre-show for Monday Night Raw tonight. I think we have a strong list of predictions. We honestly don't know who's going to get called up from NXT just yet. I agree with Keon. I think Tony D'Angelo should be one of the ones to get called up, but I ultimately don't know if he will. I had a really good burger and milkshake last night. Ooh, from where? WWE tries to do whatever they can to keep couples together on the same show. Exactly. I don't think CM Punk goes to SmackDown, Eric. I don't. Burger after burger after burger. That was hilarious. I gotta get that.
You know what I want. I've been asking for it for years.
That was one of the best replies that Drew McIntyre could have ever had. Talking about the burgers. Speaking of which, it's almost dinner time, folks. How funny. AEW put out a video. AEW Games put out a video with Jack Perry wrestling in a black shirt, just saying that Jack Perry is back for this Elite Monday Mayhem. I really wanted AEW Fight Forever to be a lot more than what it was, man. You just ate? Shit, I'm about to myself. I'm hungry. So we are definitely getting Dragunov on Raw tonight. I think so. I just don't know where he's getting drafted to. I had a yogurt parfait for dinner tonight. That's it? VJ, come on. Fight Forever needed way more time to cook. I agree. The place I got the milkshake from is called Stewart's. Oh, never heard of it. Little Stewie. So I think Rockstar should remaster GTA 4. Knowing them, they will eventually. Last night you unlocked Solo Faction Wars boss. Nice, Jason. Wonder if Khan feared for his life again. Dude, that Tony Khan stuff where he came out on the NFL Network and talked about WWE the way he did was pathetic in my opinion. There's ways to take shots and be creative and promote and all that, but the way he went about it was just pathetic. It is what it is. I'm excited for night 2 of the draft tonight. Me too, man. I can't wait. We're going to be live for the draft at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I hope to see you guys there commenting and sharing your hype for the draft because I'm excited to see what the hell they cook up tonight. SmackDown was all right. I was going to do the review for it, and I'm like, I don't know if I should do the review for SmackDown. The SmackDown review wouldn't have been all that great because it was a solid show. I gave it like an 8 out of 10, I think it was what I gave it. It wasn't bad. But just the surprises that I thought would come with the draft just didn't happen. I did enjoy seeing the legends come out and do the presentation and the little promos. The Carmelo Hayes match with Cody was good. But Tony's dad has a strong mustache. Leader, that was so random for you to say that. Very huge, a very large salad for lunch and I'm still full. Oh, okay, makes sense. Both AEW wrestlers and WWE wrestlers weren't happy with Tony Khan for his Pepsi comments. Really? Lex, you think Cody will have a match against Corbin tonight? Not on Raw. NFL Network don't care about AEW. Well, the thing is that NFL is partnered with WWE in some capacity. I will be here for the watch party tonight. Let's go. We're going to be watching Monday Night Raw in just an hour and 10 minutes. I cannot wait to see what the hell goes down. So let's do a quick poll before we end the stream. I want to see how you guys are. How do you guys feel? Should WWE fire Def Rebel? Let's see what you guys have to say. Where's Miro? Is it true Miro and Lana split up already? Five votes, 100% no. What up, Tony? Keep voting, guys. I want to see how far we get. Let me see how you guys really feel about Def Rebel. Should Def Rebel get fired? For me, I don't think they should get fired. They have way too many good songs. They've shown that they're very capable of putting together some good themes. I think WWE needs to allow them to collaborate with other musicians. That's what I think. Do you think Kevin Owens should win this year's Money in the Bank? That would be nice for him, bro. Yeah, they are. They commented on it. Oh, I didn't know. That woman treated him bad? Why would you say she treated him bad? AEW has finally gotten their own Charlotte Flair, a.k.a. Camille Brick. Is that the girl from NWA? WWE should not fire Def Rebel. They got some good songs. Yes, Def Rebel got some bad songs, but they got some really good ones. I think so too. CJ Perry's happily single? Well, you say happily because she's posting on social media she looks happy, right? That's what everyone does. That's all baloney. Lord knows what the hell calls for them to split, but posting that you're just magically happy because she went to Coachella and shit. That's what I did see. She post some shit like that. Yeah, Brick was from NWA. I had never heard of her till today. I did see that AEW signed her, so we'll see what the hell they do with that. But if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? We're going to be discussing Monday Night Raw and so much more tonight, live, 8 p.m. Eastern. Khan needs to stay on his medication. I don't know if he's on medication, but I know that tonight we're going to be like, whoop that trick.
Yeah. I like it.
So I'm going to go get some dinner. I'm going to schedule the stream for 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll see you guys back here shortly. I'm happy that we got through all the bullet points we wanted to cover in this little prediction show. The list has been set. You guys saw it for yourself. Blue is for SmackDown. Red is for Raw. Yellow is for NXT. This is the list of superstars that are available tonight, and I put them in their respective brands that I think they're going to go to. I'm pretty sure I'm very wrong since NXT is not going to be drafting, but one can hope, one can dream. So that's the list right there one last time. Thank y'all for tuning into this one. I personally don't think they should fire Def Rebel for the millionth time. I'll see y'all later tonight. Let's go have some food. Get ready for Raw.
Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do you, that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread, with every word that I've said.